Welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto and NFTs every day. I am your host, WendyO, and I have a very special friend of mine who also happens to be a new parent. So shout out to the parents and shout out to Joe from Lunar Crush. How are you doing today, Joe?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. You've got that new parent smile, I see. Parenthood looks great on you.
I'm glowing.
Glowing. Well, congratulations to your
Thank
partner
you.
for doing all the heavy lifting for you, because us women.
Exactly.
Anyway.
We joke a little bit about like as a guy, it's like, the least amount of contribution to the process possible, but yet like the baby comes out looking exactly like you. It's just like it's kind of like an unfair thing, but we shall see.
We shall see. I know my daughter looks like me, and when she first came out, she looked like her father, but she looks exactly like me.
There you go.
Anyways, so it's been a minute since you've came on the show. And if you guys aren't familiar, Lunar Crush is an absolutely amazing platform to use because you can see trending coins. And for some of us degen swing traders, scalpers, whatever it may be, if you get on Lunar Crush early enough, you can kind of catch the trending coin before it starts to move, make a quick scalp. There's all kinds of really great stuff like for traders, fundamentals, social scores, all that stuff. But kind of tell us, give me 60-second pitch of what Lunar Crush is for those people who haven't used it before and why people should consider taking a look at it.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. When we started, it was looking at the cryptocurrency market and trying to understand how do you know the difference between project number 800 and project number 80 when it comes to what does the community look like. And when we started Lunar Crush, it was long before Wall Street bets and all that other stuff where people started to understand, okay, social sentiment matters when I'm investing and looking and trying to do research. And so what we're doing is we're basically looking at and pulling all the crypto specific content from places like Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, and the news. And we try and understand in real time across 3,500 different cryptocurrencies which projects have a community that's growing and maybe which ones don't have a community that's growing. And, we liken it a little bit to almost looking at wallet addresses or like GitHub commits from like a, software side or like a adoption side. It's how many people are out there actually talking about these projects and how many individuals, what's the virality look like? Who are maybe some of the influencers that are out there that are talking about these projects? And so our mission's always really been to create transparency in the cryptocurrency and Web3 space and to protect investors and protect people and give them some tools and access to understand the market when all this stuff is really new for people.
Awesome. Is this free?
Yeah, we have a free tier, and then we also have a couple other tiers where you're going to get access to more data. And so the way you do that is you go and you can either earn your way up or you can get some Lunar token. And so the token basically is your right and access to get more data on the site. And so if you're someone that wants to come on and share and be a part of the community and kind of proof of community and build yourself up, you can do that. Or you can go snag some off of an exchange somewhere and put that into your account. And that is yours to hold. And, unlike services out there that basically, take your data and make you pay a subscription every single month, if we aren't doing our job and our product or service isn't up to snuff, you can take that value with you.
Awesome. Okay. So it's a pretty cool tool for people to kind of start to do their own research. And again, you guys, on this channel, we like risky investments. We like to degen out a bit, but at the same time, before we do that, we always assume the risk. And we like to use platforms like Lunar Crush. Lunar Crush is one of the platforms that I'll kind of check out different social scores, like see what's going on with the coin. Like sometimes I go to CoinGecko, but there's not enough information. I'm just like, okay, we got the market cap, circulating supply. But then if I go to Lunar Crush, I can kind of cross compare data. Are you guys going to be supporting NFTs anytime soon, or do you already support NFTs?
Great topic. And yes, I'm not going to say the exact day, but we are like getting pretty close here on our NFT section. And so Lunar Crush for NFTs is right around the corner. We're probably only a couple of weeks away. So we'll be starting with Ethereum and basically looking at those different communities. And the reason being is, just with cryptocurrencies, we kind of coined this phrase, like without a community, there's no crypto, and social and sentiment really pushes a lot of stuff around. With NFTs, it's all about the community. And it's all about the people that are behind that. And so for us, it's, as the, NFTs and we had a lot of friends that have been in this space for a long time. NFTs have been around for a long time. But now that it's grown to the spot where it's grown, we felt it was the right time. And we've been looking at it for a really long time, but we want to do things in the right way, aggregate the data in the right way so that we're showcasing and, coming up with like the cleanest source of data possible. So yes, NFTs is coming.
Yay. One of the things I like about that, what you said, is like you guys kind of didn't jump right on the bandwagon right away. And the reason why NFTs are great, but at the same time, and they have been around for a while, but we've
Right.
had NFTs on Counterparty, we've had NFTs on, the Crypto Kitties from way back when, but now we have like an influx of like projects. And I think that it's important to figure out what is the correct data to aggregate. What data do you want to see? Why is this important? Because you can just start pulling random data, but then you're going to have a product that's not necessary, or you're going to have an outcome that might not be beneficial to the investor, that might give skewed data. So I appreciate you guys have taken your time. Like, there's a lot of talk, are we in a bear market? I personally feel like it's still kind of a bear cycle. I still feel we may have that melt up in July. Hope I'm wrong. Well, no, I hope I'm right, because we need some more positive price action. But we're
Right.
going to have another like full blown on NFT bull cycle. So I feel like you guys are Lunar Crush is positioning themselves correctly so that you have this product that works, that people can either use for free, or they can, step their game up, use a Lunar token, and then, get a little bit more data with that. So
Right.
so is that the only thing you guys are working on, is the NFT aspects, or did you guys add any type of new data or new information for users on Lunar Crush?
So we've been really focused in the last couple of months on, we've launched a lot of new stuff. And so what we wanted to do in the last couple of months, and if people have been on our site, they've started to see it, is we've focused a lot on the current product and the experience. And, for us, we've kind of always seen ourselves as people that are kind of pushing the boundaries of design and UX. And it's a very UX driven problem to understand how to kind of display social data versus market data, right? People always ask us, they're like, oh, how quickly do you guys serve this data if you have like a hedge fund that wants data in real time? And it's like, well, yes, market pricing comes across instantaneously and there's trades all over the place. But with social data, when you post something, it doesn't just go viral that second, right? And it's a different way to look at data. And so we've actually spent a lot of time in the last couple of months under the hood, making sure that we are, we're an analytics company first that just happens to create community. So we have a new dashboard though. And so if you go on lunarcrush.com today and you haven't been on in a month or so, what you're going to see is just this feed of data. And, if you're on Twitter, or you're on, another social network, what you're seeing is just a bunch of people's content. For us, it's more than that. It's news, it's posts, it's insights. And so what we're doing is we're basically looking across the entire market, and we're looking for anomalies on our own. And so we're bringing those anomalies to you based on your personal preferences or based on the entire market. So for example, right now I'm looking at one that says the graph social contributors measured hourly hit 82, so 378% above the 7-day average, right? So suddenly in the last hour, why are 400% more people talking about the graph? Right. And it's like, that's not actually one that I'm following on the global section, but what we wanted to do was, previously, if you're on Lunar Crush, you've got some alerts set, maybe you really understand the market, but how do we help people that maybe aren't super savvy at what's going on, but they're also starting to get a little bit more into the industry and starting to understand more. And so for us, like insights is huge. How do we help people? How do we take the intelligence that we've learned over the last couple of years and bring that to people directly down as a push notification or a text message or through Telegram or email or whatever people want. So that's something that's really important that we just adjusted. And then a lot of like the new markets page, we've got a different way of kind of just teasing out the data and making it more simple for people to understand, because there's just a lot of data and it's tough for people to kind of understand the entire market in one go of it.
I agree 100%. And I feel like doing because we always talk about do your own research. This is not financial advice, but it's always hard for people to understand, like, where do I start? So Lunar Crush is a great tool to use. I actually am going to be putting out a video about how me and my team, how we decide if a project is legit. Again, it's crypto, you guys, things can change. We saw this actually happen with, the UST debacle, the Terra Luna thing, which was crazy. I actually have a question. Did you as all of that crazy stuff was happening, what were your guys' thoughts as like a team, I guess, like seeing all this stuff, you're like, what the heck? Because you guys can see all the back, not what's going on with the project, but you can see all the social interaction happening.
Yeah, it was crazy. And actually something that was crazy on top of that is like Lunar Crush, our name is like, it's trended before on Twitter. And so people started typing Luna Crash and it was auto-correcting the Lunar Crush. So Lunar Crush was actually trending while Lunar Crash was. And so we spent like a ton of time, like, I guess all press is good press, but it was like, people kind of thought I was like, oh boy. But Lot of thoughts on that, and like we're doing a lot of debriefs on it, and it's tough. It's like I know a lot of the folks over there with those projects and other projects that we're building on top of it as well. And I mean, UST was kind of like the darling stablecoin, especially of a lot of the projects that were in the space. And so I think we're going to probably see a little bit more fallout. Like how many project treasuries, were they holding that stable coin in Anchor, and they were staked for 24 days and that's gone. Maybe we're going to find out about how many maybe young CFOs out there at like, a fabrication company somewhere where they said like, hey, this is like the best one out there. Like we're going to hold a little bit of capital there, like risky. Yes. But if you're into the space, it was, it was something where it was like, hey, like similar to any of these other centralized services where it's like, you kind of keep an eye on the APY. If that starts to fall a little bit, like that's your signal. This seems to have been some sort of, very specific thing or anomaly that had happened. And I think we're going to kind of find out about that. But yeah, the market went wild. And it's like this too shall pass, but it was definitely a blow, I think, to the industry. But I think like all of these moments in time, at least in the history of our industry, it will end up being net a good thing for the industry, because I think a lot of projects are going to, have to take a very serious look and say, what am I building for? Right. And what is the product or service that's out there, and kind of move away from this. We have it happens in every industry, but it's like Uber for X, or, I'm an AI and machine learning company that does this. And we've kind of gone through this cycle of we're a Web3 company, or we're, blockchain or whatever we're doing. It's like blockchain and like solving this double spend problem and launching these tokens is, it is a disruption, but it is not everything. Right. And I think it's tough for people to understand, especially a lot of traditional investors, because they think about investing as growth and all of this, like, what's the utility? What's all this big stuff? But with crypto, it's really different. What they're doing. It's like, imagine JP Morgan or Bank of America. It's like how much overhead is just used for just like to buy the building or the bank. It's like how many people work there. And it's like, if you look at some of these DeFi lending platforms, they're already doing everything that those banks are doing. They don't even have employees. They just have a community. And so that's why I think it's hard for people to understand the value there. So roundabout way of saying it was, at some point we were seeing like 20 to 30% of the market. That's like, on a normal day, you would never have any sort of altcoin or other project be dominating that much of the news, but it was dominating everything. But, the industry will get through it just like it does every time.
So Lunar Crush is like the Bloomberg terminal of crypto.
In a way, yeah, we're kind of, some of the pitch a little bit is like, if Bloomberg were born in 2022, maybe it would look a little bit like what Lunar Crush looks like.
Right. I think it's a great tool. I think and I love that you guys still have a free aspect of it for people. Like one of the things that drives me crazy, like I get people have to make money, but like paywalls they're not fun all the time, but you guys still have like a free aspect for people, and people like it, then you guys should be, if people like, the limited version and they're using it, they're making money, then they should up their game and, spend a little to utilize the, the more advanced one. I mean,
that's literally why we launched the token is it, people can get access to all this stuff by just being on Lunar Crush long enough. If you just have a little bit of patience, you can also get to those levels, but you're going to see a lot of projects have to adjust some of these things and find out what that utility is with everything. But like, kind of like you were saying at the beginning, like we take our time to build stuff. Like that was not the first thing that we launched. I mean, Lunar Crush existed for years before we integrated something like that. And so it's like, now that it's part of it and it's part of the community, I'm kind of urging all of the other projects that are out there, like think about building in these ways, because the industry and especially the people on the periphery or just on the periphery, they're not going to stand for some of the ways that some of the stuff is being built. And so, keep your eyes out for good projects with good communities that are ranking in those top alt ranks on Lunar Crush, I would say.
Awesome. Well, Joe, before we get going, did you have any final words for the audience? Is there something they should pay attention to? Did you guys launch something? Did I miss something? Tell us.
Well, around the token side, it's been pretty cool. We launched a new white paper, and we now have staking. That's a part of what we're doing. And so if you're staking, you're getting even more access. And we already have like 15, or I think it's almost 20% of circulating supply already staked. Like we've got a great community, and we've got a lot of really awesome products that we're going to be launching here in the coming months. And, we just would love for people to come and really understand the market in detail and understand what you're looking at and be patient, stand idly by right now and keep an eye on everything. But, follow us at Lunar Crush. We're constantly posting insights and little things that we're seeing. And always feel free to reach out if you're a founder in the space or someone wants to start something. My DMs on Twitter are open. It's at Joe Vez. I got started by having a lot of people helping me out and taking some time, and I'm never going to forget that and want to bring the next generation up too. So
awesome. Well, you guys, if you're interested in trying out Lunar Crush, the links are down below. I think it's a great tool. We use it a lot for the O research team, and I use it myself sometimes to help me prepare for my morning news. Sometimes I don't. Kind of depends how I'm feeling that day, how much time I have. Did I sleep in or not? Is my child on falling asleep and like, mommy, hold me? But yeah, it's a really great tool, you guys, and they've been around a long time. But Joe, thank you guys so much for coming on and creating this really cool product for people to kind of start their evolution down the crypto rabbit hole. If you guys have questions, concerns, the contact will be down there. You can check it out. Again, Joe, thank you so much for coming on.
thank you for supporting us, Wendy.